Hi again, everyone. Scott Pyre, Pop Cult fan here. It is October 30th, which means tomorrow is Halloween. And my last review for this month and for this Halloween season will be for An American Werewolf in London, which I also rewatched the same night I rewatched The Fly, actually. And, you know, I think there are a few comparisons to make in regards to both of these films. They both have a male lead, and revolves around a love story, and it's interesting because this particular movie, An American Werewolf in London, it relies a little bit more on comedy. It's not nearly as dramatic as the Fly movie was, and when the movie starts, we're following these two American guys that are friends, and they're traveling to London, and something happens. They get attacked. One of them dies. Jack, he dies at the very beginning of the film, so it's not really a spoiler. Also, this movie came out in 1981, and so which means that this movie is like 5 years older than the Fly film, and there's one of the actors in this movie I recognized rewatching it. The actress that was in Child's Play 2, she's in this, and I completely forgot that she was. And I liked her presence in the film, and I like how, as the movie goes on, the male lead, as well as her, she's a nurse. She is taking care of him. He's in this hospital, which is one of the few flaws that I actually do have about this film, by the way, because for a majority of the first half of this film, he's in a hospital because he was attacked, right? He was attacked by a werewolf. And as a result of that, this movie has a little bit of a slow pace, and kind of builds up to eventually that iconic werewolf transformation scene, which happens like near like the end of the second act of the film, and then going into the third act. So that's when we get all the werewolf action that you'd want in a movie like this. And I do think that this is a good film. I do, but there are a few pacing issues in this one compared to The Fly, and I think that in regards to the whole part with this guy who's changing, and eventually changes near this end of the second act, he's going through some stuff, and he's seeing things that initially seemed like weren't actually there. But his friend comes to him as an undead, and he only sees him, and that's something that you would argue would be something that happens after, like, PTSD, for example, or something like that. But this is something that's supernatural that's happening to him, right? And which eventually leads to him transforming into a werewolf, because his undead friend Jack was trying to warn him, trying to tell him to kill himself and that kind of thing. So, and I think the makeup that Rick Baker, he did some amazing makeup work with this film, especially when it finally gets to the werewolf transformation scene. Like, what they were able to do at the time in 1981 was incredible. Just that werewolf transformation scene alone was iconic, and when we do get to that third act, that's where a lot of the things that you would expect with a movie like this come to play, and it feels a little bit grounded, in a sense that for the time that it came out, it felt oddly realistic. Like, kind of reminded me of the violence in the fourth Planet of the Apes original film, Conquest. The violence in at the end of this film kind of reminded me of that a little bit, and I thought that was really fascinating. And yeah, I mean, this is a decent film. And I kind of like some of the more humorous moments in this film. I think there was one moment that the movie got a little bit meta, but yeah, I enjoy this film. I like the actress that was in this film as the love interest, and in that way, it had a bit of a similar kind of premise as The Fly, because you're following this guy who, uh, you know, he was kind of flirting her with her a little bit when she was treating him as a nurse, uh, which I could see where that was going, and but it was touching, And then by the end of the film, she makes a similar kind of. I mean, not really, because I don't want to spoil it, even though this is a movie that came out in 1981. But it ends tragically, similar to The Fly, and it kind of just ends there. After that tragic scene, it just ends there, and in that way, the ending of this one isn't quite as satisfying, because it just that the tragic thing happens and then the movie just ends. So as a result of that, there's just a few things about this one that aren't quite as well realized as the Fly movie was, and but overall, though, it was an enjoyable film because of the more humorous moments, and the makeup effects were really solid, and the director, I thought, did a really good job. John Landis, I believe that was the director. He did a really good job with this film, and I think overall, the cinematography too, I thought was really well done, and when you get the final reveal of the werewolf in full form, like, it wasn't what I was expecting. Like, I'll say that as well about this movie. As a werewolf film, the final look of the creature in the third act, it seemed a bit strange to me, because it walked on four, like, I'll mention that, it walked on all four limbs like an actual wolf, and it, like, at the beginning of the film, I thought it was a bear. At the beginning of the film, I thought it was just a straight up bear, when the two men were attacked at the beginning, and it just, that final form, it just seems a little silly to me because it was walking on all fours, but yeah, like, the transformation scene, iconic, but the actual final form, I was just like, I feel like a werewolf should be standing on two limbs, like I would normally see in something like Prisoner of Azkaban or something like that. But yeah, I just thought that final form was a little bit silly, other than the transformation scene itself. But yeah, overall, it's a decent film. I would probably give it I'd say like a B plus. I think that would be my grade for this film. And there are a lot of little side characters in this too, that are kind of positioned as not villains or anything like that, but kind of like side antagonists. There's characters like that. They're like very small characters, but overall, though, it was an enjoyable film and I liked it. I think The Fly is better. But yeah, that is my review for An American Werewolf in London. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be gone all day because I have work, and then I'm going to my friend Sean's place afterwards. So that's why I'm not gonna be able to do another review tomorrow. Just for the sheer fact I'm gonna be gone all day. So yeah, that's why I wanted to do this today, as my final review for this month and for the Halloween season. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everyone has a great Halloween this year. I hope you all have a great time. I'm really curious what other people's costumes will be. I'm dressing up as Darth Sidious, the Emperor, and that's gonna be a lot of fun tomorrow with my friend Sean. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all next month in November. All right, guys, take care and have a great day. Peace.